Welcome to Caveman Cuisine.
A show by a man for men.
This is Coffee,
This is Junior.
and today we're going over an herb roasted whole chicken. We're also going to do some mashed potatoes, but we'll have a little bit of a twist on it, something you guys are not used to. And we're going to do fresh sauteed green beans with probably some garlic, maybe a little twist, but we'll go on and check it out. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the ingredients and make sure you guys know exactly what you need to have so we can proceed.
Ingredients. First we have oven stuffer. This feeds 2 to 4 people. This is for the oven. This is oven stuffer. Next we have sea salt. It's nicer with the grinder. It's gives good flavor. Then we have mixed. It's garlic and herb. It has a bunch of stuff in it. It's like the easy way out, but it still works. It's good stuff. Ginger. Another mixed Italian herb. Is black pepper, red pepper, garlic, onion, sea salt, tomato, and parsley. This is everything else what we have. Potatoes. We're not going to peel these. We're just going to cut off all the bad spots, and these will be like a rustic kind of mashed potatoes. Next we have celery, plain old regular celery. Red onions, delicious. I love these. Lemons and carrots. And cilantro. You can tell cilantro by the smell. They usually sell it next to the parsley, but it's a nice strong smell. When you smell it, you'll know it's cilantro. And fresh green string beans. And of course garlic, part of every meal in my opinion. And butter, salted. Okay, first meal we're going to prepare is potatoes. These are russet potatoes. Any potatoes you can buy. Any grocery store you can find these at. First thing we're going to do is, before handling any food, is wash your hands. It's really important. Cleanliness, you can get sick really easily. Yeah, pretty much that. Potatoes, we're going to rinse these off before we cut these up. Real important to rinse these off. Lots of bacteria and stuff can fester on these. Alright, it's important to know what spots are bad on the potato. Just because this is brown doesn't mean it's bad, but just cut some of it off to find out. If you look underneath the skin and you see that it's darker, that means it's bad or it just doesn't taste very good. So that's the piece you really want to get off. And after cutting them for a while, you'll know which parts will taste funny or not, and then it'll be good. It's very important to cut the potatoes in almost the same size. That way when you boil these, they'll all be done at the same time.
Now, as you can see, he's cutting up all the pieces in fairly, the same size. What this does is it allows it to cook evenly, so that way not one potato is harder than the other. Now you want to put it in a decent cooking pot, fill it with water. Now you can also have a substitute and use milk. A lot of people don't know that you can, instead of water, you can use milk and have it as a slow simmer. You don't have to boil it.
Now that potatoes have been cleaned, we're going to fill this up with water. We're going to fill it up to right above where the potatoes are. We're not going to fill it up too high. We're going to use cold water, and then we're going to use salt. Now salt, what it does is keeps the temperature higher. It doesn't make it boil fast, it just keeps the temperature higher. We're going to do that now. Next, add some salt. Just put that on high until it starts boiling. Once it starts boiling, we're going to turn it down a little bit and test to see if the potatoes are done.
All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the herb butter, which we're going to place underneath the skin of the chicken, and then we're also going to do a herb rub that's going to go on top. But for that, we're going to use extra virgin olive oil. Now, for the size of the chicken we're using, 3 tablespoons of butter is pretty much the best way to go. Easy to use directions right there. 1, 2, 3. You cut right down. You know exactly where you need to be. Put the rest to the side. And while I'm doing this, coffee's going to be prepping the, let's see, we're going to be putting in red onions, carrots, celery, and lemon inside the chicken itself. Now, unlike Thanksgiving, you ain't got to worry about stuffing. The stuff that's going to go inside the chicken, you're not going to eat. It's there for the aromatics more than anything.
Okay, what we did here is we took our ingredients and we cut them in pieces. This is going inside a chicken, so it doesn't have to be really small pieces. This has to be just big enough to fit inside the chicken. Got chicken potatoes. They're boiling. Turn it down some. Keep the lid on. Just keep an eye on it. If it starts boiling over, you could always tilt the lid out a little bit. But it's good to keep the pressure in there and the thing's going because it cooks a lot faster. All right, back to this. Like I said, these are bigger pieces because it's going inside the chicken. This is going to flavor the chicken. It's going to flavor all the meat from the inside out, and that's what makes excellent chicken. What we have here is a head of garlic. Garlic is very, very tricky when it comes to cutting and preparing it. I have a way from watching cooking shows for my whole life how to do this more efficiently. So here it goes. Very sharp knife. You need to cut off one end, making sure you're not cutting your fingers off. Off to one top. Cut up the other side. Remove all excess skin. Break some of these up. And some of them just fall apart and they're ready to go already, with both sides already cleaned. Other ones won't, and I'm going to show you how to take care of those too. Basically, anytime I cook, I almost end up using a whole head of garlic. Take this, put it underneath the knife, and put the palm on it, and press down and give it a nice push. And as you see, all the skin comes right off. And with these, do the same technique. Put some underneath, squish it down until they're flattish. Here, we chop it up. Again, make sure you, for your fingers, you don't cut those. You want to make sure these are almost all the same size. Garlic is one of them funny herbs where if you eat with it, the smaller you cut it up, the stronger it's going to taste. The bigger cloves you eat, the less taste you're going to get out of it.
Okay, now we're going to start preparing the chicken. First thing you want to do, like I said, you want to find a whole roaster. They're great for the oven. Not all chickens are meant for the oven. Some are meant for deep frying. You want to find something where between 4 to 5 pounds. This is actually 7 pounds because we got a couple more people to feed. So when it's not just you and your lady, be considerate of the family. Get something a little bit bigger. Cut her open. Just a little bit. And what we're going to do is we'll move it over to the sink because there's a lot of blood and everything that's going to come out of it. Pull her out like giving birth. Now you know a whole roaster, when it has that little baby in it, that'll tell you when it's done. Now for what we're doing, you're gonna cook it for about hour and a half, hour to 15 minutes at 450 degrees. Now, stuff in the center. These are what they call the giblets. It's up to you to use them. I never do. Not with this recipe because we're gonna be stuffing it. So this can actually go to the side. You can use it for soup. Or if you don't know what you're doing, just throw it away. Make it easier.
A lot of people use the giblets to make gravy.
That's something we'll show you guys later on, how to make a roux, how to make a gravy from the sauces that and the oils that come off of your chicken. All right, we'll move her over here real quick. He's gonna start pat drying, just to dry it off a little bit, like it's a little bit easier to work with. Roll her over. Right down your cutting board a little bit. All right. Now the trick to this is real simple. Lift under the skin, cut just so lightly on each side. What you want to do is just be able to get enough room to slide your finger in. See how this one's coming? See how that is? And all you're going to do is just keep moving your finger around. Go by the thigh, go by the wing, all along, same thing on both sides. The reason you do this is because you're going to be putting their butter inside. And it's okay, I bust it through. That's alright, she's got more skin for us. There we go. Flip her over. Same thing with the breast. Just a little small cut. Just enough to break the skin away from the body. Put your finger in there. She can come out, don't worry about her. And just feel her around. It may feel disgusting, but come on, you're a man. Like, you can't do this. This is basic. This is man in nature. Grunt if you need to. And that'll do pretty well. Like I said, kind of make your way around because you want that butter to go everywhere. So now that we got this, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the herb butter. This is what it looks like. I know the first time you didn't get a close-up shot, but this has all the garlic and the cilantro and everything in it. So what you do is, this is when you get dirty. Take it with your hand. Slide it in. Now here's the easy part. Once it's in, you can scoop the butter around just by pushing along the skin. See, now it's over here, move it around there. Get a little bit more. Get underneath that skin. And then just start pressing it around. You see what I'm saying? Like, see the butter moving? And what this does is, with the aromatics in the chicken, and you put the herb butter underneath the skin, it'll just make for a moist chicken. And that's what you want. You want to be able to serve a nice moist chicken, something that's juicy, finger licking kind of thing. Don't be shy. Take your hands, throw it under there. Once she's under, you can maneuver her around easier. Use the chicken. Now remember, we're using fresh garlic. You can use garlic powder. You can use any seasonings that you pretty much like. You can make curry. There's black and soft red peppers. I mean, there's tons of things you can use. Don't be shy about using them. Now that that's done, next step is to work the outside. Now, this is not going. Usually, when you make a chicken or a turkey or something in the oven, put it in a roasting pan. We're not going to use a roasting pan. We're going to put it on a sheet pan, and there's a reason why. What happens is, we don't want the chicken to become soggy underneath. Like if you ever did a turkey at home and the turkey's sitting in there and you pull it out, By the time all the moisture in the water and everything, the juices come out, it's up about this far high on the turkey. This is beautifully golden roasted. Everything else is soggy. We don't want that. We want clean, beautiful roastery all the way around the body. Now this is where we end up taking the olive oil and the herbs that we did earlier. As you can see, take it and just rub it around. Get it underneath the arm. You take it in a nice little massage all the way around. Roll her over. You want to get her everywhere you need to. Just pour her along. Get her along the wings. Everywhere that you can rub your hands, everywhere you can fit her, she's going to go along nicely. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add all the ingredients that the Anthony coffee chopped up earlier. We're going to slide them in here. Alright, so we got onions, carrots, lemons. Don't be shy about it, just stuff it. Whatever fits, fits. Fit them in there, just shove it in there. Got the celery. Shove it in there. Now the trick is to put your hand toward the front so you know when you're going too far. Limes. Gives a nice, all that citrus, all that acid, all that's going to go in there. The carrots. Now, I know we told you guys earlier you're not going to eat this. Can you eat it? Yes, you can. By the time the fat from the chicken comes out and the oils and the water and everything that's out, makes for a nice gravy that you can use later. But all these things, normally you're not going to eat them. It's for aromatics, it's to add flavor. And that's pretty much what you're looking at. Now, all right, now that you got the chicken ready, she's going to transfer it over right onto the pan. Now this is just a regular sheet pan, nothing special about it. But what's great about this is that once it goes in the oven and starts cooking, we'll peek in from here to there, you'll see all this just start turning a golden color. Now, we have a lot of stuff left. What we're going to do, we're going to lay it around the outside. I'm going to put some of the onions, the lemons. Nothing goes to waste. Tuck it under, it'll help keep things in place. Makes it look real pretty. Now, we'll talk about presentation a little bit later, but right now you just want to get this thing in the oven because this is going to take the longest part of your dinner. It's an hour, 15 minutes, or an hour and a half. And a little bit of, and just throw that on there. Now, a lot of guys ask, as far as these herbs, what's important, the stem or the leaves? Me, I use everything. What about your coffee?
I use mainly the leaves.
But now we have our chicken, she's ready to go in the oven. Now, your rack placement's important. The farther it is to the bottom, the hotter it's going to be. Now, for what we're doing, the bottom rack is fine. Sometimes you're going to use the middle, but we'll point those out. But that's the difference. Sometimes you'll put something in the oven and you'll forget about the rack placement. What happens? It doesn't cook right. It's still thawed out. Whatever the thing is, it's because of that. But right now we're just going to slide her in. Close it. Be mindful of the time so we know exactly where we started and where we're going to. Okay, with us today on our taste panel is Sean Israel, food critic and food blogger. We also have Rebecca Herman. Been eating since the day she was born, so she pretty much knows what she's talking about. And she's going to be our female perspective for today. First question I want to ask you guys is, what do you guys think about today's menu?
Looks pretty delicious. Can't wait to try out the mashed potatoes.
Sean, how difficult do you think it was to prepare?
Looked pretty easy. I mean, you guys laid it out pretty good.
All right, what do you look forward most to trying today? Well, either one of you.
The chicken looks really
Yeah, I
slimy.
definitely want to try it.
Yeah.
All right, we're asking our panel, what dish would you like to see made in upcoming episodes?
I'd like to see something hard, something like beef Wellington or maybe a fish or something. You know, something that guys usually don't do.
Same question.
Okay, I would like to see you guys do lasagna because it's not something guys make all the time, and a lot of people don't make it right. It comes out dry, and I want to see how you guys make it.
All right, we're gonna take a look at the progress of the chicken. And as you can see, she's starting to get that nice, beautiful golden color. All the vegetables are getting a nice little crisp look to them. So she'll be ready in a little bit. All right, now once chicken's almost done, we're gonna do the sauteed green beans. But like I said, this is gonna be an easy one. A little bit of olive oil. Garlic. And your green beans. A lot of people don't know how to flip a pan. Bring it to the edge, flip your wrist. You'll get better with practice. And the reason I'm swirling around so that it starts coating the green beans. I'm gonna lower the heat just a little bit and let this saute for a little bit. Move it around so that way the garlic doesn't burn. Now you're gonna saute this, and when you start seeing the garlic getting a little brown, you're still okay. Don't worry about that bitter taste that we talked about earlier when it comes to this. Olive oil will help out a lot. And the reason I use olive oil instead of the butter burns faster. This is probably be the easiest thing you're going to learn to do. You got to straddle it, throw it back in. Like I said, it's always important to clean your vegetables beforehand. That way, there's no taste that you're not expecting actually. When possible, use fresh green beans. Or any fresh vegetable, anything that you're going to saute. You can do this with pretty much any green vegetable. Don't do it with corn. Not very good. But say it's last minute, you ain't got time to find green beans, you're out of them. Go in the frozen section. Get the steamers. Pop them in the microwave for 5 minutes, pull them out, then do this. It's actually a little faster, but it's still fresh, but they're frozen. You know, it's the closest you're going to get other than canned. Another straggler. The only other thing we're going to do to this, black pepper. Only thing we do is add a little black pepper. A little bit of salt. A couple more clips. She's ready to go. Pa 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 pa! The chicken's done. Time to take it out. It's so pretty. So pretty.
I get on it.
Bring it right over here. So pretty. Don't forget to turn off your oven. As you can see, it's got a nice golden brown color all the way around. You can actually see some areas where the skin's raised, like over here where our herb butter is. You can see how it raised up. All the vegetables all around the side. Like I said, those are going to be served It's more for presentation and aromatics, but as you can see, even the vegetables inside, if you were here, you could smell the lemon, the lime, all these herbs just coming up. Now, I know your first instinct is probably to cut her up, cut into it, serve it right away, and let it sit for a little bit. You want it to settle in its own juices before you transfer it and before you carve it. What we're going to do is we're going to let it sit, we're going to carve her up, and then we're going to place her on the platter for presentation. Now, for those of you who've never carved a chicken or a turkey or anything for Thanksgiving, it's really simple. You got your wing, got your legs, your thighs attached to it. What you want to do is you're going to cut those areas first. You cut the wing up by the shoulder, cut the drumstick, the thigh right along with it. Same thing on this side. Then with a sharp blade, you cut right down the center of the breast. Debone it from the breast is a lot easier because this has been sitting for an hour and a half. It's going to come right off. Now, it's up to you whether you want to debone the thighs and the legs. And you know, some people just like grabbing the drumstick and eating. It's completely up to you. But we'll see in a few seconds. You'll see how this goes. We're going to plate it, serve it with the mashed potatoes and green beans, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're all done. We're already carved. Here's the finished product. Sauteed green beans with fresh garlic, herb roasted chicken, stuffed with carrots, celery, lemon, lime. Those are going to make a big difference when you start tasting. Garlic mashed potato with heavy cream, milk, butter, and fresh garlic roasted. Next step, we're going to serve our guests and see what they think.
Neat.
Look for the speaker beside it says board.
That's so good.
Okay.
So good.
Yes.
Now, excuse me, I'm gonna stuff my face.
I honestly like how the lime comes through a lot. I think it's really good. And garlic mashed potatoes are always one of my favorites, so these are delicious.
Well, that's the show, folks. I hope you learned something. Hope you apply it. But next month
we have fondue.
that's right, it's our Valentine's Day show. We're going to have a couple here. His wife and my wife will both be joining us. And we'll be doing fondue, a couple different things to twist on it. We're going to be doing a cheese fondue and a chocolate fondue. We're going to show you a couple things you can do. Something easy you can do at home, something for that special person for Valentine's. So I hope you guys tune in next week. This is Coffee.
This is Junie.
That's Sean.
More chicken.
More chicken.
Can I bring my girlfriend?
Thanks a lot, guys. Bye-bye now. Bye.